Okay, hello. Haven't made a video in a while, but I'm gonna create all of the Hangman code now at once and explain it in depth also. So I'll just start with creating the secret word variable. So this is gonna equal an input because the code doesn't know the secret word yet. You have to input it so that your player is gonna know or is gonna have to guess something for Hangman. So I'll put, what is your secret word? And also type it in all lowercase. I like to put that because less coding, I guess. Well, actually, yeah, less coding. Also, because then you only have to guess lowercase letters. If you put the what is it, uppercase, I guess it's called, or capital letters, yeah. If you put those in there also, then then that adds a whole nother 26 letters and just makes the code a lot more complicated than it should be. So and I'm gonna create this function to hide the secret word. I just call it hide secret word, and it's gonna take the variable called num of enters. Just bear with me for a second. Also, we have to create a variable. Num of enters is equal to 0 because there hasn't been any enters yet, and then we're gonna create a while loop in this variable. So just like while num of enters is while num of enters is less than 100, then print just a space, which is just an enter, and also we're gonna add 1 to num of enters. So num of enters plus equals 1, so that it's gonna hide the secret word and whatnot. So then after we ask you what your secret word is, then we're gonna do the hide secret word, and with the num of enters as an argument. And just test that out real quick. And so we type in a secret word like hello, and you see it hides it. So that's just so that your player doesn't know what the secret word is right away. So after that, we're gonna create this variable called winner, saying that this is false because there is no winner yet. And also, we have that winner variable because later we're gonna rely on that to end the code, like when someone does guess the word. And then we create this total guesses variable and have that equal an empty list because you haven't guessed anything yet. And so I can think of at the moment. And yeah, so we create that variable, and after that we're gonna create a while loop, saying while. Oh, also we have a variable called mistake counter, to count your number of mistakes. Sorry, I forgot about that. So while mistake counter is less than 7, we and your and winner is not equal to true, then we are gonna create this code that's inside the while loop. So just because of that, actually, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, actually it's less than 6 mistakes. Because when you start out, you already have the Hangman board, so you have all the other different possibilities. And then we also have to, sorry, I can't think right now, but we create this variable called, or not this variable, we create this function which relies on the mistake counter. And so what it does is so you define it first. So you're gonna call it display hangman, because that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna display the hangman based on your number of mistakes. So you're gonna need the mistake counter variable as one of the arguments in this, and we are gonna print all the different types of things based off of that. So if mistake counter is equal to 0, then print. I actually have a preset, so I'm just gonna copy it because it's actually a lot to write. So just so that you don't have to sit through all that. Um, so there we have that. So this is all the mistakes displays. So right here, if it's 0, it'll print nothing, just the default, and then it'll print this if there's 1, this if there's 2, and yeah, all of these different possibilities based off of your number of mistakes. I also have this, so because I like to see the first hangman display before it shows the word. So I like to have this right here too, where it prints that without this if statement though. I forgot to keep that out of there. So then after we get that, we're gonna print this, and then well, I'm having a lot of trouble for no reason. And after we do that, we're gonna start writing code inside the while loop. So we're gonna start with guess equals. So your guess is equal to another input asking you what your guess is. So input, and then what is your guess? And whatever you input into this, it's going to assign that value to your guess. So if you guess that it's the letter H, it's going to give the letter H, or it's going to give the variable guess the value of the letter H. And that's all it does at that moment. And then what you do after that is you are going to ask if the guess is inside secret word. So if guess is in secret word, or no, guess is in total guesses. That's what it is. I apologize. If guess is in total guesses, then what you're going to do is you're going to say, you're going to print, you have guessed this already. And that's because if it's in the total guesses, then that means that you've guessed it already. And then we're going to create this else statement saying if it's not in the total guesses, then what you're going to do is you're going to append it to the total guesses by using this function. So total guesses dot append, and this only works on lists. You can only use the append function on lists. So total guesses dot append, and then you're going to append the guess, and it's going to append it as a string. And also we're gonna, after that, we are going to ask if your guess is in the secret word to decide whether it is correct or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if guess in secret word, oh, not a capital, sorry. If guess in secret word, and we're going to print your guess. We have to make it a string first. Your guess was correct. I like to put a little exclamation point at the end, like just to emphasize it, like good job. And then I'm going to create an else saying if it's not in the secret word, then we're going to do we are going to do is we are going to add 1 to the mistake counter. The mistake counter plus equals 1. But before that, or not before that, what we're going to do then after that is I'm going to oh, actually, let's just take a checkpoint to see what the code looks like so far. So you type in your secret word hello. Oh, and look at good thing we checked because it says we have a mistake. Mistake counter not defined. Oh, it says that because look at we made a spelling error in our mistake counter. So now let's see what the code is like. I will move my camera. Okay, so the code, like we input our secret word hello, and it says, "What is your guess?" We'll just put like 8. Your guess was correct. What is your guess? E, L. Oh, you're just guessing all the letters, and it worked so far, which is really good. So then, after we input our mistakes, we are going to display the hangman. Yes, we are going to display our current hangman state. So what you do is you just do the function, you call the function. So display hangman, and I'm pretty sure also, yeah, it took the mistake counter as an argument. We call it with the function as the argument, and then let's see if this works as well. So we input our secret word, hello, our guess, H, and then that's if it's incorrect. So let's put an incorrect guess. Ooh, nice. I also like to have it do it if you have it correct also, just so like you know your current state. Like if you keep getting correct guesses, you want to know where you are still. So I'll put that right here too in the if you guessed it correct, if the guess is in the secret word. So display hangman mistake counter. I just call it mistake counter also because it counts your mistakes. Yeah. So after you do that, it should print it for each guess. So H, yeah, you got it correct, but it still printed it. Oh, you got it incorrect, it also printed it. So it'll display your hangman state, or before it displays your hangman state, or actually maybe after. It will say your current number of mistakes. So yeah. So it'll print your guess. Your guess was incorrect. And then what we like to do is put a sad face because that is not good news. And then also write your number of wrong guesses. So you're gonna append the mistake counter. Oh, but you also have to turn the mistake counter into a string because you can't concatenate a string in an integer. So we're gonna turn this mistake counter variable into a string and add it to or concatenate it with your guess was incorrect string, and then also put that out of 6. And yes. So basically, if you get 6 incorrect guesses, then it should say that you lost, or actually not yet, but it'll say it. So let's see. Is it out? Hello. That's our secret word. Let's get wrong guesses. Okay, you can see that it's adding to the number of incorrect guesses, and it's also building the body more. Ooh, it said you lose. So it said you lose, your guess was incorrect. The 6 out of 6. And that's what I have so far. So hold on. Okay. Sorry, I had to do something real quick. So I am back and ready. So now you can see that it prints your incorrect guesses. I feel like it should print how much you got wrong before it shows your Hangman state. Yeah, I'm gonna put that button right here because I don't like that how it looks, how it says you lose and then it shows your number of incorrect guesses. So yeah, I'm just gonna put it before, and boom. So now it should say that before. Hello is our secret word, and then we'll make it like boom, just put wrong guesses, of course, just to test out this wrong guess. And you can see it says your guess was incorrect, 6 out of 6, and then it shows your current Hangman state and says you lose. So that's what we want. That's good. Now that we have it say what your guess, if your guess is correct or incorrect, we're gonna want to create this thing that I like to call secret word list. So in order to create that, we just make it an empty list. We call the variable the secret word list equal to an empty list. So we do that so that we can create this for loop. So this for loop is going to go like this. For letter, just like this is letter variable, we just created it for this for loop so that it can print each letter in our secret word. So for letter in secret word, we're going to ask if letter in total guesses, so that means if you guessed it before, and if so, then it's gonna append to the secret word list the letter itself. Wow, I'll give you an example. Let's say I guessed, my first guess is the letter H. Then what it's going to append, it's going to ask, or it's going to ask if the letter is in the total guesses, which it is, because right after we guessed the letter H, it appended it to the total guesses. And then since it appended it, it's in there. And then it's gonna go to this code and it's going to append the letter to the secret word list. So then in the secret word list, well, you're gonna see that the letter H is there. And then let's say there isn't a letter in total guesses. Let's see if this letter is a space. Oh yeah, if letter is equal to space, which you're probably never gonna guess that. Like that's like including apostrophes in your word, which you don't usually see often in the Hangman game. So I actually had never seen one before, but so if the letter is equal to space, then append a space. So secret word list append, and then space. It might actually not be a space, and it's also might not be in the total guesses. So then if it's neither of those, then you go to this else, or not else. I think elif is better. Elif letter if the letter maybe it is an else, I forget. If the letter is equal to space, if letter is in total guesses, yeah, let's just make it an else. So else, if it's neither of those, then just append a hold on, let's see. Oh wait, I'm doing it totally wrong. Secret word, yeah, there it is. Secret word list dot append an underscore in place of the letter. Now we'll just see what this list looks like after. Print secret word list. And print this after like each guess. I'm pretty sure. I'll move my camera so you can see. So what is the secret word? Hello. Guess the letter H. And look at that. It prints H because we've guessed that so far. And then all these underscores in place of the other letters. So E, L, L, O. So it's working pretty good so far. That's how it's supposed to work. So then after you do that, we don't actually want to print this. What we're going to do is create a variable called correct guesses. I just like to call it that. It's just all the letters in this are all the items in the secret word list squished together so that you don't see it all messy like over here, like how it's all separated like that with quotes. It's going to be put together. So correct guesses, because that's the exact same thing as those letters in there. If there's letters in there, then they're correct. So correct guesses is going to equal to this space, or I'll explain this after I write it. So space dot join secret word list. Okay, how this works is this join function. It joins all the things in this list, and it has to be a list that you put inside its parentheses. So it joins all the items together so that they can form something readable, like in this case. And whatever you write in here is what it joins all the letters with. So if I had put nothing, you would just see a ton of underscores in order. But if I put the space, then you see all the separate ones, so you can see the individual letters. And yeah, that's it. So then after you do that, you're gonna want to print correct guesses so that you can see everything that you've made so far. I also like to do this code. What is it? There you go. I accidentally did something wrong. But I also like to put this code right before the while loop, because if you notice on your first guess it doesn't show your letters. So if you put it right before the while loop, then it'll show your letters. But the thing is, we have to take away these indents because they're unnecessary. It's taking a little bit of time, huh? But yeah, there you go. So I put it there. So now what it will do is it'll print it first thing after I write hello. Oh, that is odd. Oh, it's because I don't have secret order list. I'll just create a secret order list up here also so that it works. Secret order list, and then is equal to just nothing, an empty list. Okay, I apologize. Didn't anticipate that. So I put my secret word, and now look at that. It printed the underscores, and after each word or each letter that you get, it also prints the underscores, like it should. That's really good. And if you get a wrong letter, it's going to say that you got it wrong also. And does not do anything if you win yet, because we have not created that. So then what we create is a function. Oh, also, I just realized something. So you see how these aren't separated, which I don't really like. I like it to be more organized. So, but so that you can keep track of where you are. So, right after you print correct guesses, you're gonna just print and enter. Yes, print and enter. It should keep everything a little more neat. Yeah, everything does look a little more neat. Oh yeah. I apologize. I just heard a word noise. I don't know what that noise is in the background. Something odd. So back to what I was talking about. So after you create this, you're gonna want to print your total guesses. So you do print your total guesses so far. So your total guesses. Sorry, I didn't mean to put that E. Your total guesses so far, and then you put that colon to separate it and to show them. And in order to do this, you're gonna add your total guesses. But there's something wrong with this code right here. It is not proper syntax because total guesses happens to be a list, and you cannot concatenate this string with a list. No strings you can concatenate with a list. So what you do is you perform the string function on this list, turn it into a string. So that it's concatenatable. I don't know if it's a word, but it sounds like a word. So that it's concatenatable with that string. So after you do that, it should print your total guesses after each guess. So hello, and then I guess the letter H. And look at that, your total guesses so far, and it actually showed them, which is pretty cool. So, okay, that's how it should be working. And I also have this extra code to ask if what is it? If your guess is equal to the secret word, kind of like a little Easter egg that you can put in the game. So if your guess is equal to the secret word, then just print you win. Print you win. So that's saying that like if your guess is equal to the secret word, that means that you guessed the whole word at once, and that you just got it right on the first try or something, or maybe you had the idea of it already. So you're like, okay, I think I already know what it is. So you just guess the whole word at once. But the thing is, if you do get it wrong, then it's going to give you an incorrect guess. So kind of got to be careful. Then after that, it's you're gonna make winner equal to true, only if you get them. And then now we're gonna make this variable that checks if you're the winner. So I like to put my variables up here before the while loop. So since it has to be for winner, actually has to be after the secret word, I think. So let's just create it and see where it has to go. So define check win to see if there's a winner. I don't know if it has any variables. That we will find out together. Define check win as if uh, if underscore, if none of those are not in, if those are not in the secret word list, And then we're going to print UN. I always forget the quotations. So we're going to print UN. That's if there's no more underscores. But that's because if there's no more underscores, then that means they're all replaced with letters. So you've guessed all the letters. So you're the winner. And then we are going to return true. You're going to see why in a second. So you return true, and basically the value of check when it becomes true. And I just remembered what the argument is. The argument is secret word list because we're calling for that variable inside the definition or inside the function. So then after this right here, you're gonna call on this function check when, and with the secret word list as the argument. But all this is going to do is return true, so we don't want it just to print true randomly or something. Like, that's not going to help us win the game. So what we do is we make winner equal to this at the end of the while loop. So this means that while, or like, once we get to the bottom, winner is going to be equal to this. So if there's no more underscores in the secret word, then it's going to print you win, and it's going to return true, so that winner is equal to true. Therefore, the while loop ends because the while is on the accounts that mistake counter is less than 6 and winner is not equal to true. So once it equals to true, it's going to end. And yeah, so let's test out this code so far, what we have created. So what we do is we put our secret word and then hide it with our hide secret word function that we created. Print that Hangman display and that correct guesses variable, which is just the secret word list formatted, and Bergensen. Boom, that guess was correct. And our display Hangman has not changed, but our correct guesses has. And our total guesses now holds the value of the string H. So maybe another letter ought to do it. And if we get all our letters right, then it says you win. And that's what we got. Now let's see if we get no letters right, like Q, W, none of these letters are in the word, and you can see that as the more mistakes that we get, the more that we draw onto the hangman. And if we just do that, then it says you lose. And we didn't get any of the letters, and it printed the full body, which you do not want to happen. And yeah. So if that happens, then you lost. You lost. So you don't want to lose. That's why this game is cool. So you should create it. You can make it for friends and family or whatever. But I don't think I explained this part. But yeah, if mistake counter is equal to 0, it's gonna print this hangman state. And if your mistake counter is equal to 1, it's gonna print it, but with the head. If your mistake counter is 2, it's gonna print it with the head and body. If you have 3 mistakes, it's gonna print it with the head, body, and arm. 4 mistakes, head, body, and both arms. This isn't getting good. You get 5 mistakes, both arms, body, the head, and a leg. And if you get all 6 mistakes, then it's a body, a head, both arms, and both legs, and you lose. So it prints you lose. And again, I'm just going over this code just to as a quick overview of what we've created so far. We create this number of enters to hide the variable or to hide the secret word. So we have it print and enter 100 times, as well as add 1 to number of enters so as to stop this while loop. and we have number of enters also as an argument in this because it's being called upon in this function. So then we have the secret word. We ask you what your secret word is, and whatever you input, its value is assigned to the secret word variable. And then we hide the secret word with our secret word function. And after that, we define our check win variable or function to check if there's a winner, like if you've guessed the whole word, which returns true, prints you win if you did get rid of all the underscores. And then we create all these variables saying that the winner is false because there's not a winner yet. The empty list is the value of the total guesses because there's no guesses yet. Mistake counter is 0 because there's no mistakes yet. Secret word list is given the value of an empty list because you haven't, or because the list hasn't been assigned anything yet. It's letters from the secret word. It hasn't been assigned them yet. So then what you do is you print your first hangman state, and then for each letter that's in the secret word, you append either the letter itself, a space, or an underscore to the secret word list based on if it's in the total guesses, if it's a space, or if it's neither of those. And so for the word hello, I'll just go over this. So for the letter hello, for letter in secret word, it's going to go for each letter. So if the letter H is in total guesses, it's not. It'll go to, if it's a space, it's not. So it's going to go to the else, and it's going to append an underscore. This is just for before you guess anything. So then for the letter E in secret word, you're going to ask if E is in total guesses. Not. If it's a space, it's not. So then it's going to append another underscore. It's going to do this for L also. If L is in total guesses, which is not yet, and then if it's a space, it's not. So it's going to else and print or append an underscore to the secret word list, and do the same thing for the other L. Do the same thing for the O because it hasn't been guessed yet. That's just for before you guess anything. Once you start guessing stuff, it gets a little more complicated because it actually uses these other two if and elif statements. Then after that, it's going to get this correct guesses variable and assign it the value of all the items in the secret word list joined together, and it's then going to print them so that you know how many letters are in the secret word, and also it'll look neat. And then we are then going to start this while loop, which will only run if the mistake counter is less than 6, so if you have less than 6 mistakes, and if your winner is not equal to true, so if there's no winner yet. And it starts out by asking you what your guess is and assigning that guess to the guess variable. And then asking if your guess is in total guesses, and if it is, it'll print it. It'll print you've guessed it already, and if it's not, it'll just append it to the total guesses. And then if your guess is in the secret word, it'll say your guess is correct, and it'll show your current hangman state. And if it's not in the secret word, it's just going to add 1 to your mistakes, to your number of mistakes. And it'll print your guess was not correct and show you how many mistakes you have out of 6. And then it'll print your current hangman state based off of that. And after saying that it's not in the total guesses and doing all this, it's going to create this new variable called secret word list, which we actually did assign up here so that we could make the check win variable. But we're reassigning it in empty list because we don't want it to have anything in it yet. So in the secret word list, we give it an empty list value. We give it an empty list value every time we go through the while loop because you might get a correct guess, so it will have to add that letter in. So that's why we keep assigning it as an empty list in this while loop. Now, after you give it this empty list value, it's gonna go through each letter and append either the letter itself or a space or an underscore to the secret word list based off if it's in the total guesses or if it's a space or if it's neither. And then it'll join those letters together in this correct guesses variable by assigning the joined letters or joined items to the correct guesses variable, and then it'll print the correct guesses all together, and then it'll print an enter just to keep everything neat. And after that, it'll print all your total guesses, not your total mistakes, but just your total guesses, so that you know not to guess something again. But even if you do guess something again, it's fine because it'll just tell you that you guessed it already in this right here in line 104. So now that you've gone through all that, it's going to ask if your guess is equal to the secret word, and if it is, it'll just say you win, and the winner is equal to true because you got the word actually. But after that, it's gonna give winner the value of this check win variable. I actually never checked if this secret word code works, so let us see. Hello. Oh, that was odd. Hello. What the heck? I can't type. So it prints hello, and let's say we guess the whole word. Oh, it doesn't do it. But it did say that you won. That's so weird. I think it's because we reassign the value to it right here. So basically this code right here is invalid. So I mean we don't need that code. Never did need it, you know. But yeah. So let's say now after it says your prints your total guesses, we're just gonna forget about that code that I just deleted, and we're gonna assign this check win function to the winner, and we're gonna see what that does. So then what it does, it's gonna ask if there's no more underscores in the secret word list, and if there aren't any, it's just gonna print you win, and it's gonna return true, the value true, to this winner variable. And if winner is equal to true, it's going to end this while loop because it's on the conditions that it has to be true and has to have less than 6 mistakes. So if one of them is false, if one of these returns not true, so if winner is equal to true or mistake counter is greater than or equal to 6, then it'll end the while loop. So if you guess all the letters and there's no more underscores in the secret word list, then it'll just say you win, and it'll make the winner equal to true. So I'll just show that also one more time. Hello is my secret word, H-E-L-O. And you see it says your total guesses and then you win. So yeah, that's the total overview for this Hangman code. I know it was a really long video, but I think I went pretty into depth into it, and I just want to thank you for sitting through it. So thank you and happy coding.